And tonight we conclude our Godllywood moment for the month of October, Blueprint of Love. And I hope that so far you have learned that you can map, plan, understand, and invest in your love life. So today I'm going to talk about one of the topics that I like the most. It is choosing us instead of me. And when you look around, what we see the most in our society is people teaching to invest in yourself, to prioritize yourself. If you have to choose between two opinions, choose yours. It goes on the opposite side of what we need to be happy in our love life. To be happy in our marriage, we need to apply a principle that Jesus gave us in the Bible. When we read in Matthew 7:12, it says, "Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets." In other words, if you expect to receive, first you give. If you expect your husband to value you, first you value your husband. And love life, be it while you are dating or while you are engaged, planning your wedding, or day-to-day of marriage life, you end up forgetting about this. How easy it is to apply this Bible verse in our relationship with others. When we have to make hospital visits, when we go to evangelize, when we go to take care of CBC or youth group. But when it comes to the one who is supposed to be our partner for life, many are putting the ego, me, first. And that's not the way that in marriage we achieve things. We have been learning that we don't get married to be happy. We need first to be happy. We need first to establish our relationship with God, to be confident. We need to have dealt with our shortcomings, with our bad experiences of the past. We need to lower our self-defense towards men. When we are happy, content within us, then we are prepared to get into a relationship. Because relationships are made to put the other first, to make the other happy. So in practical, how many times I had to exercise this? And you know why? Because my husband has a great responsibility in spiritual manners, taking care of souls, taking care of the responsibilities of the church. So I had to learn the first thing in the beginning of our marriage, that he was my priority. So instead of wanting to have his attention, to be the first in his life, I always thought about he needs to have his mind totally free so that he can give himself on the altar on behalf of the souls. Did we have disagreements? Yes, many times. Did we have arguments? Yes. But one thing I always did, I was always careful, and still I am, not to raise those disputes, those disagreements, when he is about to go to the altar, or when he is involved with a decision he needs to make. I am important, our marriage is important, but before myself, it's God and the work of God. By doing so, I gave time to myself. And I love this expression in English that says, I'm going to sleep on it. Because truthfully, when we have something that we are not satisfied with, when we have something that we did not agree, we want to expose, we want to talk, we want to show our opinion, we want to defend ourselves, we want to justify. And in doing all that, we act out of impulse. We allow our emotions to take over. we end up speaking what we should not. We end up bringing that journal. You know the journal? Where we registered all past occurrences. Instead of closing the book and forgetting, we bring all that back. And fact is, we don't solve anything. When we sleep on it, when we look at the situation, the moment, and we have that wisdom to say, now it's not the right time. Because what matters is not my opinion. What matters is to have this situation sorted out. We start thinking about us. And when I wake up the following day, or even a few hours later, the spur of the moment, the emotions I dealt with, and now, if I compare what I would have spoken and what I'm going to speak, I will see that I have trimmed. I have trimmed my emotions, my disappointment, my frustration. And now I am able to tackle only what we need to resolve without attacking him, without being led by my emotions, without justification. And by doing so, I am able to get a better result. You may be thinking, but my opinion or my frustration does not count. It does count. It is important that you establish dialogue and you are able to communicate this. But when we think about us, we seek for the right time and we seek for the right words, even to express our frustration. Putting us first and removing the I from the equation will lead us to much better decisions. And every decision that a couple makes is not going to benefit only one. But as a matter of fact, it benefits both of them and the family and the friends. So we need to learn to take into account both opinions. And we need to learn to be humble, to accept when he is giving us right points. You may fight for your opinion. You may win this battle. But truth is, you're not going to win the war. The devil will. Because by dividing, by creating animosity, by creating that opinion, we cannot converse. We end up fighting. We give up about solving our differences, and we don't see different angles that would surely lead us to much better decisions. Also, I want to include in this topic of thinking about us is when we need to make decisions, and of course, somehow it will affect friends and family members. But what matters the most? To please your friends, to please your family, but to make your husband, to make your boyfriend, your partner, very frustrated with your decision. When you say, for instance, I have planned that in December I'm going to go and travel. And maybe your husband cannot travel with you because he is committed to his work. But you have decided. He might even respect your decision. However, he's going to resent that in that moment, your decision was only based on yourself, on your needs, on your opinion. Later on, he might need or he might find himself in the same situation. And what will he do? He probably will take into account his needs, forgetting about you. So, do to others what you want them to do to you. Do you want your husband to treat you with appreciation? Appreciate him first. Do you want your husband to involve you in his decisions? Involve him first in your decisions. Do you want your husband to be active in conversing? Start a conversation. Let him lead that conversation. Let him expose, without interruption, his opinion. By doing so, you will extend to him the favor that you want for yourself. There are many women who say, my husband does not appreciate what I do. My husband doesn't even notice that I have styled my hair. My husband doesn't even see that I have put flowers in the house. And they enter in that defensive mode. He doesn't do to me. He doesn't say. Do you compliment him? And I know you might even ask, what do I have to compliment about a man's haircut? I understand that. But have you recently told him how much you appreciate him? How much he is the king of your life? How much you miss him? Have you ever complimented the way he prepared himself to go to Sunday morning service, even if it is with the assistant's uniform? Maybe not. And you are waiting for him to do that. So in every decision, that is the key for our conversation. In every decision, ask yourself, who will win? Is it me or both of us? Whatever we are planning, is it for the better of both of us or only myself? You will start practicing Matthew 7:12 inside your home, in your relationship. And I wish you a blessed month of November. 2 months to the end of the year. Let us seize the opportunity to change our relationships. Let us put us before I. And surely God will bless.